Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I stand here in a little bit of disbelief following some very difficult questions asked by my NDP colleague and friend from Winnipeg Centre. I watched, along with other members and colleagues here, as the Prime Minister sat down, directed at the member from Winnipeg Centre, with an F-bomb being dropped and a little bit more of a thing. I wouldn't want it because, honestly, just play it back. Unfortunately, I would ask for a formal apology and ask for this member, for the Prime Minister of Canada, to stand and apologize to my female colleague and my friend from Winnipeg Centre, especially on Indigenous Day. Thank you very much.
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
I'm pleased to let my answer to that question stand and say that I said absolutely nothing after finishing that answer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And this is on the point of order from my colleague from Elgin, Middlesex, London. And I was also witness to the Prime Minister saying the F word in question period today after his response to an opposition party member. And this is shocking and unparliamentary language. And I ask you, Mr. Speaker, to ask the Prime Minister to apologize because he did.
It's already been dealt with. We've dealt with that already.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. A CBC report card on the government's progress in implementing the calls for justice from the National Inquiry into Murdered and Missing Indigenous Women and Girls got a failing grade. Only 2 of the 231 calls for justice have been fully implemented to date. Unacceptable. The Liberals must implement all the calls for justice now and put in place a red dress alert system to keep Indigenous women, girls, and diverse gendered folks safe. Yes. Why isn't the Prime Minister acting with urgency in the face of an ongoing genocide?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Speaker, our hearts are with survivors and families of missing and murdered Indigenous women, girls, and 2S LGBTQI+ people. Addressing this ongoing violence requires living up to our goals as a country and all the calls for justice. We're taking a whole-of-government approach, $125 million to implement the National Action Plan for MMIWG. We've appointed a special rep to consult on the creation of an Indigenous and Human Rights Ombudsperson, $4 billion to support Indigenous housing needs, and we're working to implement a red dress alert. We agree, Mr. Speaker, there's always more to do, but we are taking this seriously and working in partnership with Indigenous peoples right across the country. Hear, hear.